Hi everybody. I just want to show you what it looks like to create a weekly learning module inside of Blackboard. I feel like there's so much information going out about how to do discussions, how to do assignments, how to do this, how to do that, and maybe it will be helpful to just see what it actually looks like to build a weekly unit in real time. It's something that I need to do, and thanks to Melanie's post on screencasting, capturing, whatever this is called, I figured that I would take you along with me on my online course journey for a course that was never supposed to be online. So here is my English 100 course shell right now. I'm going to go into student preview mode so that you see what my students see. This is my what is due. It's actually the announcements, and I have created a course link here so that every time I send out any announcement, it goes to students' emails, but it's also just sitting right here at the very top of our homepage. This is pretty typical syllabus and course information thing. Project 1, Project 2, we are currently in Project 3, which is why it's in red. I'm going to have to go into these learning modules that I have created, again, week by week by week, and I'm going to show you how I create a discussion post, a quiz, and an assignment. I'm going to get out of my student preview, and we're going to get into week 11 so that I can show you how to do these things. So week 11. I've already put in the weekly overview, which is an item. I like to use items to provide just a basic overview of what the work for the week is going to be, and all links to all readings that students are going to need to create, or I'm sorry, to complete the coursework. So Monday, students have to do a discussion post. Wednesday, they have to read and take a quiz. Friday, they're going to have to read and do a short assignment. I think I've said elsewhere that I think it's helpful for students and maybe for you as well to build assignments from the unit where you want students to be doing the work. So I'm going to go ahead and build my discussion forum right here from week 11, which is the week where students are going to have to be doing the work. So I click on discussion board. I actually was just kind of fooling around and I created the week 11 discussion forum. But if this was not here, I would create new forum, give it a title. Since it is, I'm going to select it. I'm going to hit next. And this, when it says link information, this is the link that will appear within my week 11 folder. So my link name right here doesn't need to be week 11. It should be due on Monday night. Ay, ay, ay. Right? That's a little bit clearer for my students who are just navigating to discussion through the weekly unit. Right here, I will tell my students, please respond to at least one discussion question. Your post is due on Monday night. Your post must be at least 250 words. Okay, this is not really indicating to the students what exactly I want them to do. It is indicating to the students generally the guidelines for posting. Right? Now, the nice thing about discussion posts is I can click on this, I will see what my students see. When I click on it, I see nothing. So I have to create discussion thread, right? And I want my students to know which posts are required and which posts are optional. I'm going to title this Required. How are you doing? This is going to be a really easy discussion post because honestly, it's just there so that my students can practice participating in discussion. So my question is going to be something along the lines of, how was your spring break? Da 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 da. How are you doing with this COVID scare. I'm, of course, going to make this a little bit more compelling than it is right now, but I'm just showing you that this is where you would post the starter thread that you really want students to respond to. I always mention, please add your post as a reply to this one. I do not like it when students create their own threads. I think that that is not in any way, shape, or form a discussion. It just is a series of a bunch of people posting random things that no one else reads. So my students are going to click in here, and what they are going to see is my starter post. And if I don't, when I want to go back and edit this, I can. Once I like it, I just hit reply. My students will hit reply. Everybody will hit reply. They can even reply to each other's replies, and we will end up with hopefully some type of nice discussion. I can also add optional threads. Optional. This could be something silly. This could be something about like assignment questions. It could be something about Blackboard help that you need. What are you confused by this week's assignments? Very open-ended. It's optional. But now my students have several ways to engage in discussion for Monday night. To get back to my week 11 page, I can't just click discussion board. That's just going to take me to my discussion forum. So I could, if I don't have quick links, go back to my home page, click in my current unit, click in my current week, and then I'll see it. I see my discussion post there. And again, when I click, this is what my students see, this is what I see. To post, they just have to click on the blue. Pretty typical in the web world. When you see things that are blue, they're hyperlinks. They're things that we can click on. So the next thing I need to create is my quiz. I said that I was going to have the student take a quiz after reading chapter 6.1, What is Rhetoric? I do not believe that I already have this test created, so I will just sort of give you a quick overview of how to do this. Just like with the discussion, I'm going to create the test by clicking on Test. The name I'm going to give my test is, oh, I do have it started, but I will show you what it's like to create it. I want this due on Wednesday, so I'm going to title it Due Wednesday. Historical Analysis Reading Quiz. Give that capital R. Okay. After you have read chapter 6.1, please take this quiz. You will have 3 attempts. Your grade will be an average of all attempts. This is how I typically do quizzes in my classes. My students are familiar with this. I like to do this because it incentivizes students to not feel like these things are high stakes and to try. And I found that works pretty well for me. I like to consistently put in hyperlinks, so I know I'm telling my students to go to chapter 6.1. Let me just go ahead and link to chapter 6.1 because that makes things a lot easier for everyone. Here we go. What is rhetoric? I'm going to copy that. I'm going to pop this back in here. Here is how you put a hyperlink in. Control V, insert. Okay. I hit submit. Now I have to create my quiz. I'm going to create a series of multiple choice questions because I don't want to have to spend too much time grading this stuff. Question 1, blah, blah. And let me give my responses. Response number 1, I would put that in there. Response number 2, response number 3, response number 4. Of course, these would be actual answers, but I'm trying to do this quickly. I submit. There we go. You can change how many points every question is. This is 1. You could make some questions extra credit. You could make the whole quiz extra credit if you'd like. But here's our quiz. And say I have this completed. It's lovely. It's wonderful. It's highlighted for me here. I'm going to hit submit. We've got a little bit more test information. You have to make sure that the test is available to your students. By default, it is not. You can also add an announcement that will go to your student CSU email, which is lovely for them because it's just an additional reminder of something that is due. I don't like unlimited attempts. I said before I limit it to 3, and I change it so that my quizzes are graded on an average of attempts, and I will give it a due date. I definitely want it done by Wednesday, the 25th at 11:59 p.m. And I hit submit, and there we go. There's my Tuesday rhetorical analysis reading quiz. I'm going to make this unavailable because I don't want to freak my students out since it's not complete right now. And then the last thing I have to do is make an assignment. And this is going to be due on Friday night, so I will entitle it Due Friday Rhetorical Analysis. What did I say? Prep sheet? Okay. So for this assignment, you will need to complete the questions on. Now, I have not created this assignment sheet yet, but if somebody who's a little bit more prepared at this point, what I would do is I would click on this attachment. I would browse my computer for the assignment that I have already created. Let me pretend that this is the assignment. We'll pretend that this is my assignment, and I am uploading it, and I will tell my students, yes, that's what I want. Okay, this is my assignment sheet, and you can even change this once you've linked it. Assignment questions, right? My students will be able to click on that and download it. I can give additional information here. Sometimes I use this space to say, this is what a good response will be. Sometimes I use this space to say, this is how I will grade your assignment. Sometimes I just provide extra tips or links to readings that they can do that will help them complete the assignment. But all of those are things that I can do to provide them with more guidance. I am definitely going to put a due date there. Again, 11:59 p.m. Points possible, it will be 20 points. Submission details, I always change this to unlimited attempts because students sometimes upload the wrong thing. You can choose to grade submissions based on SafeAssign. It's never really been anything that blows me away, but if that's what you like, you can do that. And then you can create a rubric, which I am not going to do now because that is its own video unto itself. I love Blackboard rubrics, but they do take a bit of time to create, and it's probably not super interesting to watch in this already very long video. Okay, so here is a week. Here is a weekly overview followed by a discussion post due on Monday, due Wednesday, and due Friday. I don't like how I have Friday, Wednesday, and then night, so I'm just going to go up to this. I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to take out Monday. And what my students will see inside of this learning module is a little bit different than what I see. Project 3, week 11. Notice how I don't know where my my quiz is not showing up because I made it not live. That's why it's not there. But my students will be able to click through things. They can go to Monday, they can go to Friday, they can go back and forth. When a student goes to submit their assignment, this is what it's going to look like for them. You need to remind them that you want them to attach files if indeed that is the case. I feel like it's an easier way to navigate for students inside of these learning modules than just having to scroll down a very, 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 very long page of lots of links. So this was very long. I hope that it was somewhat helpful just to see what it looks like to go through that process. And good luck. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to help. Thank you.